Section 7, Contempt of Court. I was still buried deep in the case file, trying to relate it with these two sections the lawyer had raised as defense. Then I heard a voice. "Good day, sir." I looked up at the person. She was a middle-aged lady. As I looked at her face, it was obvious she had been crying. My gaze shifted to the person standing beside her. It was a boy. He held a hand to his chest. I noticed he was missing a part of his right hand. His wrist was heavily bandaged, and he was still crying, wiping his tears at intervals. I asked for his age. He told me he was 9 years old. Then the boy narrated his side of the story, while his mother helped him to write it down. He stated that fateful day was his first time of attempting to steal fish from the old man. He only decided to follow his friend that day because his mother had complained that she was hungry. It was quite unfortunate that he lost his hand on his first attempt. "Don't you know that what you did is stealing?" the son of the old man asked him. I turned to him and said, "A person under the age of 10 years is not criminally responsible for any act or omission. You should know better. You are a lawyer after all." I was moved with compassion at the boy's story. It was unfortunate that a boy had assumed the responsibility of a man. He was trying to feed his mother because his father had left her with him and his younger sister. After he finished his statement, we went straight to visit the scene of the incident. We collectively agreed that the old man would not go with us because we presumed we might be confronted by an angry mob. Our assumption was valid, as a crazy crowd was waiting to attack the old man. But they were disappointed when they saw only the boy and his present condition. Angered by his deformity, the crowd went on rampage as they charged into the old man's farm and started destroying his farm produce. I quickly called the DPO of the nearest division, who was on standby with anti-riot police. Their timely intervention stopped what would have degenerated into a breakdown of law and order because the crowd had started assaulting the old man's son. So, we had to lock him in the police vehicle for his own safety. After peace was restored to the scene by the DPO and his men, I took my time to listen to the old man's neighbor's story. He said he had advised him repeatedly to take the matter to the police, but the old man insisted that no one could teach him how to defend his property. He had threatened to cut off any hand he saw on his farm produce. I encouraged the neighbor to give us a statement, which he did. My inspector also collected his details, informing him that he would be called on to give evidence in court. I quickly placed a call to the OC Legal and updated him on the development. He directed me to move straight to the court covering that area, that he will send one of his lawyers to join us in court. Most of the witnesses we met at the scene followed us to court. The DPO had to beef up security around the court premises when I told him that the suspect would be brought to court. The lawyer from the OC Legal came with the suspect and met us in court. He presented the charge sheet to the registrar. Some minutes later, the court raised and attended to the matter. While the old man was in the dock, listening to the registrar read the charge, a young lady in her mid-30s walked into the court and ran straight to the dock. "You cannot stand trial for Shola's mistake," she shouted as she dragged the old man out of the dock towards an open door. I quickly deployed uniformed policemen to secure the door. Then I walked up to the lady. "What do you think you are doing?" I asked her. The old man placed a hand on my shoulder. "She is my daughter," he lamented. The lady was crying, still trying to drag the old man away. But she was prevented from doing this by some police officers who dragged her away from the dock. She actually walked away from the dock, but as the policemen relaxed, she charged towards the lawyer, who was obviously her brother. She held him by the neck and beat his left ear so hard that blood gushed like a fountain. As Shola tried to put pressure on the bleeding ear, the young lady attacked his face, hitting him repeatedly with her high heel. "God punish you," she shouted as she attacked him. Before the police could really stop her, she had effected some serious damage. Shola ran to the magistrate desk, which was more secured. His sister was arrested and taken to the nearest police station. The magistrate directed the police to charge her for contempt of court. Then she went back to her chamber and waited for the tension to lessen. Some minutes later, the registrar addressed the court, directing we come the next day. I was about taking the old man back to the office, only for the DPO to call me to come give a statement on what happened in court with regards to the lady that disrupted the court proceedings. Well, there was already a charge of contempt of court against the lady. But my question was, will the magistrate sit on a matter when she was also a witness in the same matter?